Have you ever quit on a dream thinking it was the practical choice, only to totally regret it later? Well, that's my story. So 2 years ago, I gave up on a dream I had since I was a kid to become a music producer and artist. And at the time, I thought I was making the smart choice by giving that up. But now, looking back, I realize it was a big mistake. In this video, I want to share why I gave up on my dream, what I learned from walking away, and why I'm finally choosing to chase it again. So my hope is that if you're struggling with a similar decision, my story will hopefully help you to find clarity. So let me take you back to 2020. So I was working full-time as a physical therapist and feeling really burnt out. While it's a secure career, deep down, I knew my passion was music for sure. So producing songs, experimenting with new sounds, it gave me a sense of purpose like nothing else. So I decided to chase it seriously at 30 years old. So after work, I would spend hours improving my skills and releasing music. For 2 years, I gave it everything I had, but as time went on, doubts crept in. So making progress as a music producer takes time, a lot more than I expected. And because I was obsessed with this notion of financial freedom and wanted my dream to eventually support me financially, I started to wonder, was this even realistic? By 2022, I decided music production was not the shortest path to financial freedom, so I gave it up. I convinced myself that if I picked a more practical path, then I would be happier. And so that's when I turned to tech, specifically UX design, hoping that it would give me both the creative expression and stability that I craved. And at first, UX design felt promising. I enjoyed the creative side of designing apps and websites, but as time passed, I realized something was missing. I wasn't passionate about it. UX design became a means to an end, a way to make money, but it was never something that I loved doing. The joy I felt like when I was making music just wasn't there with UX design. Looking back, I spent 2 years pursuing a career that I didn't even care about. And if you ask me if I regret it, I'd probably say no, just to save face. But the truth, yeah, I regret it. I regret giving up on something that I loved just to chase the safer path. Growing up, I was taught to choose stability over uncertainty. And while there's nothing wrong with seeking security, that mindset made me afraid to fully commit to my dream. Because after all, music is risky, right? There's no step-by-step guide to becoming a successful producer. It's kind of unpredictable. But here's the thing. I don't make music for the guarantees or the outcomes. I make music because I love it. It lets me express emotions that I can't put into words and allows me to connect with others in a way that feels pretty surreal. When I'm creating music, time flies. I love experimenting with new ideas, playing with sounds, and just pushing myself to improve. And even when it's challenging, it's the kind of challenge that feels deeply rewarding. And that's why I'm choosing to chase my dream again. Not because I know I'll succeed, but because the journey itself is worth it. It doesn't mean I'm quitting my job or anything drastic like that. I'm just choosing to devote myself to it just like I did in 2020. If there's one thing that I've learned from all this, it's that chasing outcomes can rob you of joy. When you tie your happiness to results like money, recognition, or success, you put unnecessary pressure on yourself. And when things don't go as planned, it's easy to feel like you failed. But what if the goal wasn't the outcome? What if the goal was simply the process? And so for me, that means showing up to make music, experimenting, and enjoying every step of the journey. And so any success that comes from that is a bonus. If you're anything like me, it's tempting to choose the safe path, but here's the truth. You only get one life, and the worst feeling in the world is regret. So it would be an absolute shame to look back and wonder, what if I went for it? Choosing passion, I know it's not easy. It's scary, uncertain, and full of resistance, but it's also worth it. So I urge you, and myself, frankly, to take the leap. Stop chasing shortcuts to money. Stop letting fear hold you back. Instead, make the goal the process. Find joy in the act of doing what you love and let the outcomes take care of themselves. At 80 years old, I want to be able to look back and say, wow, I am so glad that I went for it. And for you, I hope you'll feel the exact same way. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.